Alright, this is Spider-Man 565. My voice is not very good because I stupidly thought it would be a good idea to record an old death metal song to play like 3 seconds of in a video that I'm doing. It really wasn't worth it. I didn't know why I recorded an old song. I'm stupid. This is Spider-Man and it's by Martin Jaime and Phil James is the artist. It's part of the shitty Dan Slott reboot thingy. This is after Spider-Man sold his marriage to his mate Satan. I pretty much gave up on Spider-Man after that. Like, what's the point? Comics didn't matter if one sad-eyed man can just come along and get rid of what he doesn't like in the worst way possible. This story is one of the many wannabe sequels to Spider-Man's Last Hunt. It's called Spider-Man's First Hunt, conveniently ignoring that Jim Tomatoes already did a story with that title in 1996. This introduces us to the third bastard child of Hunter-Man. This time it is a daughter, and she is out for revenge on Spider-Man for the same reason that Hunter-Man's 2 sons were previously out for revenge. There she is, Lady Hunter-Man. Some people really dislike this character. I probably dislike her too, but I don't think it's a bad idea, and it is mostly fine in this story. It is later stories where it becomes terrible. She becomes a bratty little kid who just annoyingly beats up other characters and kicks their arse dead easily. One stupid thing that this story does is that it's written as if the reveal that she is Hunter-Man's daughter and that she is somewhat to do with Hunter-Man is meant to be like a big bombshell twist to drop at the end of the third and final part. I can't help but feel that would be more effective if you hadn't called your story Spider-Man's First Hunt and made clear that there is some link to Spider-Man's Last Hunt. Spider-Man, he is teaming up with Daredevil to fight an obscure villain who just happens to be created by Martin Jaime, has one appearance before this and then never appeared again. A lot of the stuff in this issue is competent components. The art, the writing, the plot, it's completely fine. But the story just fails to really connect with us or really feel important or even feel like much of a story. Lady Hunter-Man, she is stalking Spider-Man. She's watching him and tracking him. And as you'll see at the end, she is doing a piss-poor job of it, making the later appearances where she's meant to be badass all the more ridiculous. This also comes from the days of major decompression, so some of these pages I'm just going to be getting quickly through. We have some of the bad status quo or status quo stuff from this period. Spider-Man, he cannot have a wife, but instead he can have stupid new jobs and a stupid new supporting cast. But him having a wife is too much. Lady Hunter-Man, she tries to snipe Peter Parker, and he obviously avoids. I've just realised this makes no fucking sense. This story is broken. I don't know, I'm gonna have to reread this again. This is great content, isn't it? A bloke who can hardly speak reading a comic off camera. Maybe there's a bit before where it says something. Maybe after it there's something. No. Right, yeah, this makes no sense. We'll get to why, but She is shooting at Peter Parker, and Peter Parker saves his co-worker. We do have an entertaining little joke where Peter Parker, he tries to explain to his co-worker why he's got such great reflexes and stuff by claiming to be a Skrull. We will come back to why Lady Unterman shooting at him makes no sense. But I've also got a massive criticism of the end too. So really the bulk of this review is going to be dwelling on the ending of this issue. Here we have one of them super interesting new supporting characters that are forced down our throats during this awful Dan Slott period of Spider-Man stories. This guy is Peter Parker's roommate. He's a cop. He's utterly unlikable. Him and his sister are fucking awful. Spider-Man, he cannot have a wife, but he can have these fucking whiny, insufferable characters added as a major factor in his books, because that's what people really want to read about. Shitty new characters, not Spider-Man, or the characters that they have been reading about for years. Right, fuck it, I'll just say it. The reveal is that Lady Unterman, she captures Spider-Man. Or rather, who she thinks is Spider-Man. Peter Parker's awful roommate. This guy. This is her running him over. But yeah, why was she shooting at Peter Parker? I suppose you argue she's trying to deduce which of the two is Spider-Man. I think that might have been the point. Not very clearly set up, but that must be the point. But why does she come to the conclusion that it's this dud who she thinks is Spider-Man, the one who she ran over, as opposed to the guy jumping out of windows and avoiding bullets? This is fucking daft. And had she succeeded at shooting Peter Parker, that would toss her entire revenge plan out the window, because she'd have killed Spider-Man. So then we have got the ending, and it's framed in a way to misdirect you. She's in their apartment, and someone comes in and is covered in shadows, and you're meant to think it's Peter Parker. She forces him to put on the Spider-Man costume, and then kidnaps him and ties him up in chains in the sewers. And the twist that I've already given away is that she has the wrong person. It is his roommate. Except the art does not convey that well enough. They look too similar. Like, we had the misdirection that purposely makes you think that it is Peter Parker, and this is meant to be a reveal, but, well, I'll be honest, first time I read this, I thought this was Peter Parker. The only difference is he has a goatee, which, considering the other shading on his face, I just took this to be shadows. Now I look and I can see that it's not Peter Parker, but this is a comic that is just badly put together. What was that word I invented? I invented a word, didn't I? That word, it's what this is. I can't remember what it was. It was something like flawful. That was it. This comic is flawful. It is full of flaws, and it is also quite awfully told. I certainly have to give this comic a 7 thumbs up.